No place I'd rather be, Amy.
Questions for Coach?
Just how eager is this group after a long off season to face a real opponent, and not just an opponent, but a top 10 opponent?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for our guys. I know they're sick of beating on each other, and you get to a point, you continue to add plays because everybody knows what you're running out there. So, just get the opportunity to play in, a fresh situation. We had the change of scenery getting into PBA the previous week was great for our guys as well, just to get them out of, Hendricks. We're very fortunate. We have one of the best practice facilities in the country, but just to get the opportunity to get into the arena and see it and, smell it, see the new scoreboard, the horn's different, just everything about being in there. And now we get to play. So, right into the fire. You get a top 10 team. I think I saw the preseason poll. BYU's 8th. I think that's too low for them with watching their personnel. And, I've known Kevin, and I think he does a terrific job coming off a great season. Saunders, first team, all league a year ago. And, just a tough kid who can really shoot the ball. What they've added, obviously, with the Bansa, going to most likely be the number 1 pick in the draft next year, and just built a really good roster. I could go through the whole thing. They've put together really athletic, long, skilled roster that's going to give us a lot of challenges. And, listen, whatever happens on Saturday, we're going to learn from it, we're going to grow from it, and we're going to get better from it. And, we can't overreact on what happens out there on Saturday, being the first time. You always learn a lot about yourselves the first opportunity you get when you get up and down against another opponent, and just the challenges that they're going to face, giving us with their length and athleticism. It's going to be a really good first opportunity for us to get out there.
How would you compare them to maybe another Big Ten team, just from the style of play and the caliber of athletes?
Well, it's really, we haven't seen a lot. We exchanged a little bit of film, but we haven't seen them together play in a scrimmage type format. We were very basic on the film that we exchanged with BYU. So, really what we've seen is their personnel, and that's going to be as important as anything as we prepare for this one. And really it's more about us. And, for BYU, I'm sure you ask them, it's going to be more about them, continuing to get ready for the opener, which obviously is the most important thing. And, what I've seen is length, athleticism, shooting. They're the whole package. So, their ranking, like I said, it's very well deserved, and I think that team's going to be there at the end this year.
What do you hope to learn or just get out of this one?
Yeah, we're going to play probably more guys than we will in the opener. We're going to give a lot of guys an opportunity to get out there and see what they can do. And we've had guys step up. I've been really impressed with a couple guys that have really emerged going into this game. I'll tell you our starters. I'm going to start Jamarcus, Price, Kale, Burke, and Rink. That'll be our starting group on Saturday afternoon. And, we may start different against Midland. We probably will start different against Midland. We've got a lot of guys that have shown they deserve, an opportunity to go out there and show what they can do and fight for rotation minutes. And, there's a good chance we'll play 10, maybe 11 guys. Oogie will not play. He's still dealing with a little bit of a back issue. He's feeling a lot better. The plan is to hopefully get him back for the second exhibition game against Midland, get him out in more live situations next week. And then Jared's still working his way back into shape. Still haven't determined exactly what we're going to do with him on Saturday. These next 2 days will determine that, as far as what we do with Jared. But the good thing is he's getting a lot more comfortable out there. He's missed a lot of reps. But we're continuing to play catch-up with Jared, and he does a lot of things that we need out there with his athleticism.
Kale, he got the start. What has he done this offseason? I know he had the big postseason, but what allowed him to be in the spot to be in the starting lineup?
Yeah, he organizes everything. I've loved what Kale has done for us. He's shooting the ball, knock on wood, really well right now. His numbers have been really good with that, and he just is always in the right spot. And then defensively, he got good size, length, physicality out there, and he's a guy that can play any spot on the floor. I know I've talked about that a lot with Kale. He can play really the 1 through 5. He's a very much utility player for this team, but he's earned it. He's earned his opportunity to get out there and start. We had the 4 that we were pretty sure were going to be out there as starters, and then the 5th one, again, we may rotate that in the next exhibition. But with the size that BYU has, we felt that was the right way to start.
You talked a lot about in the offseason the different point guard options you guys will have this year.
what are you looking for just from that group?
Yeah, really just looking for guys to get us organized, and they're the head of the snake defensively as well. Got to get us organized on that end as well. But I've really tried to put a lot of responsibility on our point guards and get us into an offense. We're still not running a lot of sets. It's just more flow, really trying to teach them how to play. I don't know how many plays we'll call on Saturday. It's more seeing how we react when we get out there. It'll be a different defense than the way that we play on that end. So, we practiced a little bit against it, not a lot. It's like I said, it's been more about us. We still got plenty to work on, but I just really want those guys to get us organized and recognize situations. If one of our players gets it going, we got to find a way to get them the ball within the flow of our offense. Obviously, having a rink out there has helped in a big way with that, and our flow is just so much better with rink on the court. And, with some of the injuries that we have, BK will get an opportunity, play some 5. He gave us good minutes with that a lot of the year last season, and then Leo is, going to have to be ready to give us some minutes out there as well, just from a size standpoint.
When you think back to scheduling this, Fred, how BYU's not a common opponent, so how did this come together?
Yeah, it was Luca. He called a bunch of different programs, and we just tried to get a really quality opponent that will be great for our fans to see that. I think there's 500 or 600 tickets left, so it's going to be a great crowd on Saturday. One thing I know, it is fall break, so maybe missing some of our students, but should get a really good crowd in there, and hopefully we go out and play well and give them something to be excited about. But this was an opportunity for us to play a home game this year against a top team, and then next year we'll return the game to BYU in Provo. So just again, a really good opportunity to play this one. They've changed the rules a little bit on this. Last year probably would have been a closed door behind the scenes scrimmage, but it's great to be able to get out in front of the fans. It's always a different feel. You can get rid of some of the butterflies that you're going to have going into the opener. And again, you're playing one of the top teams in the country.
You mentioned
this,
Leo.
but
How big of an opportunity is it for him, Hugh, and even Braden too, just to see this type of competition right away?
Yeah, it's really good for all those guys. And again, you just see how much better these guys are getting already, and how much more comfortable they are with on both sides of the ball. And it's a hell of an adjustment for these freshmen coming in here. Even the guys coming from different programs. The benefit Frager has is he's been in it. He's been in the system, and he's been in the locker room, so he's seen it. He's been on the bench. He traveled with us all last year, so he's ready. Probably the most excited guy to get out there is Braden Frager because of sitting out a year ago, and now the opportunity to go out there and be part of the rotation. There's going to be some butterflies. My big message to our team: this isn't a time to go out and try to do things that we haven't done for the last, whatever it is, when we started in June. This is opportunity to go out there, continue to do the same things. Don't play in a crowd. Make simple plays. Don't try to go out there and hit the home run and turn the ball over. We've had some issues with that at times when we over-penetrate, when we don't play off 2 feet. So there's a lot of things we're looking for that we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 months, and we don't need to go out there and do anything outside of what we've already done.
Is that a message you have to instill in Braden specifically, with just how much he's chomping at the bit?
Yeah. I've watched a lot of extra film with Braden, and just one-on-one film sessions. Now that we've got the extra time, with the 20 hours, and just at times he does try to. He's got such a scorer's mentality. He'll miss the quick one more. We talk about 0.5 seconds to shoot it, drive it, or pass it. And at times, he gets it and he's just got his eyes on the rim, which is great. That's what his mentality is. It's what he's always done. He's a very aggressive guy that plays with a ton of force, but at times the right play is to make the simple one, to not take the extra dribble, to not cross over and play into a crowd. So those are things that we're watching, and he's getting better with it, with those film sessions.
I'm sure there have been a lot of special mile markers for Rink during his comeback, but will Saturday, when the crowd reacts to him, be especially so for you?
Yeah, and that's the other guy that I think has got such an unbelievable high amount of excitement going into this one for having to sit out. I know it crushed him last year not being able to be out there on the floor with the guys and helping, but he did such a good job and was so diligent with his rehab, and he had to be, or else he would have put himself in a really tough position for his future. This is the start of it, to get back out there. Again, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of nerves with Rink. You guys can ask him about it here in a minute, but he's just he means so much to our team. And, whatever happens, it's been, as we've seen Rink get back on the floor, there's been stages to it. At first you could see it, his timing was off. He had a lot of rust with not being on the court for as long as he is. And this is a whole new chapter now to get back on the floor in a competitive environment against another team. And it's all part of the process for Rink. So this is great. Whatever happens Saturday is going to be better in the following game, and then certainly better in the opener on the third. But yeah, Rink is really excited.
Going off of that, what do you remember just about your playing career, even your coach career, like when you returned to Indiana the first time, or when you returned to Iowa State for the first time, just what was going through your head and just trying to manage sort of the coming back sort of thing?
I'm sorry, so say that again.
Just with Rank and even J-Law too, just what do you remember from your experiences in your playing career or coaching career of just going back to a place that you had been before or had, in that sort of thing, and just your emotions and things?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of emotions. And, again, we'll see how we get off to a start. We actually scrimmaged in PBA on Friday. We had 3 days in a row where we shot the lights out, and then we get out there and neither team scored in the first media timeout. So, it's just, again, it's a different environment, a different vibe, and we're going to experience that on Saturday as well. So you have to keep, as excited as our guys are, they have to keep their emotions in check. And, Rink, first opportunity to get back out there, he hadn't competed in over a year. And Jamarcus coming back here for the first time in front of the fans. I know how excited everybody is to see him back out there on the floor, but he's got to play within himself. So, all those things, and it's not just those two guys, it's everybody that goes out there. But yeah, there's a extra, I think, excitement level. I talk about Braden Rink, but Jamarcus as well, getting back into PBA.
You alluded to this, but I guess what are the benefits or the thought process of doing this public instead of closed doors?
Well, I hope, we go out there and play well. That would be a great benefit if that happens. But again, like I said, we're going to learn from this game. Whatever happens on Saturday, the 40 minutes that we're out there, we're going to become a better basketball team, whatever the outcome is. And the biggest reason we wanted to do it in front of the fans is it's when you're in there, listen, we're not at Hendricks. When we go to BYU, we're not going to play in their practice facility. Here we're going to be in front of 15,000. When we play BYU, there's going to be 20,000 in the Marriott Center. And it gives you the opportunity to get out front, and it's such a different feel. So, we had it the last couple of years when we played the in-state schools, but this gives us an opportunity to play against one of the best teams in the country in front of the fans. So we just felt it was the right thing to do.
From the time Rink made the decision to have the surgery and sit out last year, were there any conversations between you and him with him considering other options, or were you pretty confident when he sat out that he'd be available for you guys and here at Nebraska?
Yeah, we hoped. Obviously anything can happen when you go through that type of procedure, and especially one where it's a full 12-month recovery. And listen, it was the right move for Rink in his future, and that ultimately was what it came down to. Selfishly, yes, we could have used Rink at times last year with that group. It would have been awesome to have him out there, but then we've been looking for a starting center this year. So, there's a lot of things you look at, but ultimately what it came down to with Rink is what is the best thing for your future and your playing career. And it was to have the procedure, sit out, rehab, get ready. Listen, Rink is, when you tell him these are the 10 things you need to do, he's going to follow them to a T as much as anybody that I have ever coached. And he did that, and that's why he's in the position that he's in now.
He was always all in on coming back to Nebraska for this year?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
PBA going to feel different with that giant scoreboard this year, Fred?
It looks a little different, but once that ball goes up, it's not gonna be. Maybe I'll be able to see a replay a little better on the under. What's that called? Seamus? There you go. Yep, the underbelly. So yeah, but it's phenomenal. They did an unbelievable job in that scoreboard. It's really cool.
New court too.
New court too. Got Herbie in the middle.
You like it?
I do like it. Yeah.
Yes, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you.
time since you've played a game on the EBA floor. I guess just what are the emotions going to be for you returning to another home game at Nebraska for the first time in a while?
Right. Definitely miss like the fans and just the energy in the building that the crowd just brings. But for me personally, just having like the even kill mentality going in, just not getting too high or low.
Is it hard to suppress that anticipation as you go into this?
Is it hard? Yeah. BYU. This is a great opportunity for us, so it's just a lot of emotions, a lot of excitement. But I think once tip off is going on, then we'll be good.
About that opportunity, how cool is this to play a ranked team in an exhibition and really see where you're at, kind of?
Yeah, no doubt. Just it doesn't count, so it's just we could just go out there and just play like carefree, play confident, and just it's the first game, so we can just learn a lot, see where we're at, and we just build off that.
Is it hard not to put too much stock into a game like this? It's an exhibition, but it's against a top 10 team, kind of a real barometer of where you guys are at. I guess how do you balance wanting to show what you can do, but also not putting too much weight on it?
Yeah, because this is just like an opportunity just to showcase what we've been doing all summer. Like you said, just to see where we're at. So not so much pressure on this game. So
regardless of who it is, just how ready are you to play somebody else?
I'm ready. If it was BYU, whoever. Me and the guys, we've been going hard at it all summer, and just very excited. A couple guys like I haven't really played with, a lot. It's just how our teams is balanced in practice. So it's gonna be very exciting just to play with them against somebody else.
What do you think you can learn from a game like this before the season?
Like me personally, or just like team wise? Learn a lot. Especially like it's going to test our physicality, and our mental approach. There's going to be adversity in this game. Just test our mental is big.
It's going to be Rink's first game in over a year. Just how excited are you for him that he, gets to be back in PBA and actually play?
I'm excited for him. I think Rink he's a different player. I think he's a better player than he was before. He's moving great. He's shooting it better. He's excited too. So he's not really talking about it, but I know he has the kill mentality going in. So
What differences do you feel like fans are going to see in you as a player since the last time you were here?
I think just like maturity on the court. Just involving my teammates more. Just being like that. Just being like the voice the whole game. Like I said, just kind of just anchoring our emotions. Whether we're too high, let's relax, chill. Even when we're down, let's pick it up, let's go. So, I think ball handling wise for me too. Just coming off screens, I think the game's slowing down for me as well. Like you said, I didn't play a real game yet, so this is a great opportunity for me.
So Marcus, how do you exist in this space? It's an exhibition game. You guys are going to learn a lot about yourself, but you're also trying to play a top 10 opponent. So how do you kind of balance that about, we just want to go out and learn about ourselves, but also you want to be competitive against a really good team?
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, we have nothing to lose, so it's like this is a great opportunity just to send a message out to the country. We're also the real deal too. So
The coach said Kale's going to get the start on Saturday. I guess how have you seen his just development from a walk-on that came in to now being a guy that's not only going to play for you, but now getting a chance at the starting lineup?
Kale, he never walks around pouting. He's excited for everybody. He just always had that positive mindset, and he always working behind the scenes. So just he's been great in practice this year as well. I kind of say sometimes he's a better point guard than me because, his mind and just like his IQ is very good. So, like you said, he's been working, so he deserves this.
While you were away, was there anything about Pinnacle Bank Arena that you really missed?
The energy, the fans. Just no shame to where I was at. Just couldn't get that, where I was at. That's just the biggest thing, just playing in a packed arena every game. Something I missed.
That's for Marcus.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Yep. Have a good one.
A little bit. It's, of course, doesn't count towards our record, but it's the first game back and the first game in front of fans. So yeah, I can't wait. It's been a long road, but I'm gonna try not to think about that while I play the game and just be in the moment. But definitely after the game, just reflecting on it, it's gonna be a cool moment. A lot of hard work went into getting back to this point. So no, I'm excited.
Jamarcus kind of talked about just balancing the emotions of kind of taking this game for what it is as an exhibition chance to get better, but also facing a top 10 opponent, and then also the personal storylines. How do you handle just approaching this kind of with an even keeled demeanor and not get too high or too low?
Yeah, I think Jamarcus said it perfectly. Like it's an exhibition game for us where we finally get to play against somebody else. We've been beating up on each other for so long. We scrimmaged last Friday, and it's just, especially some of our higher IQ guys, they just pick our plays like right apart, and they just jump past the lanes, and it gets pretty hard. So it's gonna be good to play against a defense that doesn't know every single move that you're doing, but also to see an offense that you're not familiar with guarding, and that's gonna help us for sure. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Number 8 team in the country, preseason. But yeah, we got to be ready for those type of teams. I think we're going to have some more very quality opponents that come into PBA this year. So this is just a nice warm up, and it's a great opportunity to measure ourselves against some of the top teams in this country.
Do you think you, as a team, can learn from a game like this?
I think mainly just playing against somebody else, like I said, seeing a different offense, seeing a different defense. I think our defense gets better every year just because like we play against our own offense, but people run different things, and the more different things you cover, the better you get at it. So this is just the first time we play against somebody else and see other defenses. So the more different offenses we see, the better our defense is going to be.
BYU, as a guy that coach said could be the #1 overall pick in the draft next year, and AJ DeBance, I guess personally, I mean, how much are you looking forward to that matchup when you get to play against a guy of that profile to kind of show that you belong in that same category?
Yeah, it's always fun to play against guys with that type of exposure. That like he has many eyes on him. So I'm sure like super high expectations for this season. But yeah, it's always cool to go up against the best players. That's why you play at this level. You try and beat the best players. So I know the guys are excited to play against him and play against a team like that. So I'd say we try and beat everybody. So that's what we're going to try and do on Saturday.
It's been a year and a half since you've played in the game. Just how have you grown your game even though you haven't been able to be on the floor?
The main thing is just trying to get healthy, and worked very hard with our coaching staff and our athletic training staff to just get healthy and get to a point where I can play 30 minutes a game again if that's necessary. I'm guessing that we're going to try some different lineups this weekend and just see what works. But that's been the main thing. I've been a little disappointed sometimes with having to manage the knee, and sometimes the main focus was the team practice, and then they told me like, hey, just take it easy the rest of the day. Don't get extra shots up. Don't get extra work. I've been trying to find my moments here and there to work on my skill set, but the main focus this off season was just get healthy and be able to play however much the coach needs me. I'm hoping that throughout the year I can still keep finding times to keep working on my skills. But yeah, not as much skill work, just trying to get healthy.
What's your confidence level that you'll be able to show you're close to the same player you were when you last played?
I feel great. I feel about as good as I've felt since kind of the issues with the knee started. So that's very hopeful. I know from being out this long, I got to be somewhat realistic in that the first time under the big lights, you don't know. Like I might have a really good game, but there's also a chance that it's going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of getting back into the rhythm. Of course, I hope that it's going to be a great game, and I'm going to do my absolute best, but also being realistic and having the right mindset about it. It might take a little bit to get going again, and luckily we have 2 preseason games and then a couple more non-conference games up to when we start Big Ten play again. So I have some time, but of course I hope to hit the ground running.
Is it hard to be patient in that way?
Yeah, I think in general, yes, but I've been at this for a year and a half now, so it's a lot of being patient. And I think I have the right mindset going into it that you can't expect to be perfect right from the start, but just to grow into that, that's the goal.
Frank, what got you through that whole year and a half? Was there anything that really kept you motivated and helped keep your spirits up?
Yeah, you work towards what's about to happen on Saturday. You hope to get back on that court and share the court with your teammates and your friends, and just that vision of like I never had a doubt that I was gonna get back, and just taking the small steps towards that. But yeah, last year was tough, not being able to play some of the tough games, the close losses. You hope to play in those games. But yeah, it'd be good to just share the court with my teammates again.
Was the recovery more challenging physically or mentally?
That's a good question. Both. It's a challenge both physically and mentally, because physically wise, you got to take it slow. It was an injury where if I rush it back, then there's a really good chance that it's not gonna be healthy ever again. So we had to take it slow. And that's like just the grind that took on my body was tough, but also with being patient, that takes a toll on your mindset. Especially like some days you might feel great, and it's like, okay, let's do more. Like there was days where we were still in the process of learning how to run again, and I'm like, I feel great. Let's go run faster. Let's run longer. But it was like, no, like stay patient, and like yeah, that's tough on the mindset. So a little bit of both.
Hey, with Oogie dinged up, Coach said Leo Curtis might be called on to play right away as a freshman. I guess what have you seen from him as he's kind of adjusted from international ball to the Big Ten level? I guess how do you think he's handled that, and where is he in his development?
He's been really good. I think coming over from Europe, just adjusting to the speed of the game here, that was a big thing that I know it took a little bit of time for me. But he's very, very skilled, very smart. Uses a length very well. Like, you don't get that many 7'1" guys that have the type of skill set that he has. So I know he's ready. We've been battling in practice a little bit, so been trying to get him ready. He's been trying to get me ready. But I've been very impressed with him so far, and I hope that he continues to learn. And this year, if he gets some minutes this year, that'd be great for him, and I think he's ready for that. So we'll see on Saturday how he does. But I'm very, very positive about. I think he's going to do really well.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you guys.